Azimio allied leaders have also called out President William Ruto, accusing him of trying to bring back the Building Bridges initiative through the back door. Now, this comes days after the head of state, through this specific memorandum to Parliament, proposed a raft of constitutional changes, which include one of them being the creation of the office of the official leader of opposition. And as Kenya Kwanza allied leaders vow to implement the president's proposals, those in the opposing corner appear reluctant, citing that the deal could curtail the independence of Azimio's oversight powers. And TV's Sydney Chazima interrogates.
The two giant political coalitions could be headed for another showdown in Parliament, this time over the proposed constitutional amendments brought to the floor of the House by President William Ruto. Azimio allied political leaders are now accusing President Ruto of trying to sneak in the Building Bridges initiative.
Our constitution is something that must go to the people, for the people to decide before it is taken to Parliament. Now, Ruto is saying that for the creation of the leader of opposition, all he needs to do is to write to Parliament. But we had that office created under BBI. At that time he said no. He should tell us why he was opposed.
We must look at the proposals that have been made, but we must look at them with a pinch of salt. Those which are good, we can consider, but we will not consider them for the convenience of the current executive or the president. We can only consider them for the convenience of the entire country.
The main bone of contention is one of the proposals in Ruto's memorandum to Parliament that seeks to create the office of the official leader of opposition.
That is a very important office. Na sisi kama viongozi, we think it's the right thing to do ili tujenge demokrasia yetu hapa Kenya.
Raila Odinga's allies are moving with caution.
You know, you could just be trapping us by telling us good things, but the real intention is even to interfere with the presidential term limit, because that is where his interest is.
It is a misconception by those who think and imagine that you are giving them a sweet deal. You are not in the business of giving anybody any sweet deal.
Azimio leaders seem to have been caught in political no man's land on whether or not to support a proposal they had championed for only a few ago.
Ruto has never been a man who has argued for reform for the constitution. When he is making those changes and proposals for those changes, you must make sure that you are doing the right thing. Read between the lines.
I am a great believer in an accountable government, and that is why we want our oversight institutions, Parliament, the opposition, to be empowered so that they can ensure that public resources are used properly.
Majority Leader in the National Assembly, Kimani Ichung'wah, has sought to allay the opposition's fears over President Ruto's proposals.
It is not a sweet deal for anybody. It is a position that will strengthen, deepen our democracy and create greater accountability in government.
Article 255 of the Kenyan Constitution outlines the process of making certain constitutional changes, either through Parliament or a referendum. Some of the amendments that can only be made through a referendum include supremacy of the Constitution, the territory of Kenya, the sovereignty of the people, national values and principles of governance, the term of office of the president, amongst others. Sydney Chazima, NTV.